You can't judge people. They're just at different stages of their growth and different classes that they're taking.
Okay, greetings, y'all, one and all. Being a bit of a delayed start, one of them type of days. But greetings, one and all. You are tuned into Cosmic Roots Show. And standing in for me was Dolores Cannon, the video. You know, brethren, you know, decided to play that again because it's a relevant topic and so forth. But yes, Brother Siayome here, aka Cosmical Mystic, and yes, you are tuned into Bless Radio, Cosmic Roots Show. So in this, this show, I'm going to go into astrology and break down some things and try and connect, show you the interrelationship with a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things really intensifying at this moment within, you know, a lot of folk, a lot of situations coming up. And yeah, I'm going to talk some things, see if they assist anyone out there and to make sense of this, this period of time. But sit back, tune in, because yes, all aboard on the cosmic ship as we, yes, tune in to the Cosmic Root Show this evening. Bless Radio. You can also tune in via www.blessradio.org. And yes, the telephone number to call in to this evening is 079-444-31366. So, yes, here's the intro, and we'll be back with you very soon, shortly. Roots, I call it. Roots, roots, whoa, from the roots, yeah, yeah, roots, from the roots, roots, oh, reality of our true selves, oh. There can't be no other savior than yourself. Whoa. Roots, 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 Greetings, y'all. Yes, this is Brother Siayome, Cosmic Mystic. Ooh, what a wet dumpy day. Been going on for a few days. But, yeah. I trust y'all are well. And I'm going to go into astrology today. Because I think to approach what I'm going to go into this evening from this angle may shed some light on some internal things taking place in a lot of people. You know, this is not something that touches some and doesn't touch others. This is something that is touching one and all, as the frequencies, the intensities of these cosmic frequencies build up. And, yes, I need to warm up into this one, y'all. Astrology. Astrology. Now, you may have heard about astrology, and a lot of people have their ideas about it, like it's some pseudo this or whatever, but astrology's older than modern day thoughts. Astrology is meaning the study of the stars. Astrology is the study of the stars. Now you notice who you see on your TV screens, on your movie screens, they're considered stars, okay? Well, the study of the star, as in what astrology means, originally is about the star within you. Now, what is a star? You see, a star is also a sun, okay? And sun is also termed as sol, hence why we have a solar system, because it's representing the sun, this star, right, which is close to this proximity of the planet to radiate its life-giving creative rays to. And all the other planets receive their life-giving creative energy, rays, light from the sun. Hence, the sun is also symbolic of the ruler, of the solar system, the king. You get me? And we can go into discussions about whether the moon is real, artificial, or not. But the moon reflects the light of the sun, and it has a kind of light of its own, but it's very different to the sun. And that represents the feminine, okay? So you got the king as a ruler. Usually it's masculine because it's the active energy. Energy that is active, moving forward, moving about to create, to initiate something. That's the masculine principle. The receptive, receiving, okay, reflecting energy is the feminine. So you're dealing with electromagnetic, energy, which is the creative impulse that also exists within your consciousness. Now, you have to have the complementary nature of the masculine and the feminine. Now, when you get a honeymoon, that's the moon conjuncting with the sun. We've had a new moon in Scorpio the other day, where the moon conjuncts with the sun. Honeymoon. That's where you get that term from. Okay? The honeymoon. Yeah, because the sun is orange, and you see how its energy is just like honey. You see? And you got a honeymoon when you have that union, that penetration, that connection, okay? Coming together. So this is where you have new energy coming in, all right? Why it's called a new moon. You see? Now, I'm gonna go into, I'm just seeing how I feel to go into this stuff, because we have come out of, we've had a Scorpio retrograde, okay? We had Venus moving through Scorpio, okay? It being going backwards after it was going direct. So it's called a retrograde, going backwards, okay? It's like you're reviewing something. You're going over the path you have already walked upon to review your steps, to review your path. And on reviewing the path, you may end up noticing things that you did not realize or acknowledge when you was first walking that path, right? So you're dealing with a retrograde aspect in Pluto. Excuse me, in Scorpio. The reason I said Pluto is because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. But I'm going to enter into this astrology in a very different way. I'm just laying down a little foundation here. A little bit of setting up, well, this is the climate you're dealing with now. So we are now in the period of time when we're dealing with a Venus. Venus now is going direct, okay? I'm going to try and make this simple because astrology is a huge it's a huge field, okay, of knowledge to actually go into. But what I will, how I will go into it is make a statement about, you see, what you see going on out there when you think about the skies, the heavens and the stars, and we look at planets and you hear about planets and their archetypes. Yeah, the archetypal rulers of certain signs, okay? You're dealing with actually all of that which is being presented as outside of you is within you. You're carrying all of the archetypes within your consciousness. Yep. All right, let me drop it this way. All of those planets are aspects of your soul's power. What is taking place when you have a transit is actually an activation taking place within inside of yourself. I've heard many people, when you hear a Mercury retrograde, which we're getting ready to go in, I think it started now. Mercury retrograding in Sagittarius, right? Now, you see, the thing is, you hear a lot of people, when they hear about this Mercury's retrograding, oh, man, when will it be over? When will it be over? You know, it's like they want to stick their heads in the sand or blame everything on Mercury retrograde when they don't realize that, listen, this is like you're trying to run away from your own face. You cannot run away from yourself. All of this is taking place within inside of you. So when you're dealing with a Mercury retrograde, you are dealing with an activation. You see, from the human perspective, we will say, here's a transit. You know, because it's making a movement. You're in transit, like you're in a car moving from one place to another. Yeah, it's called a transit. But it's making a transition through the inner heavens of you, through the inner wheel of life that you are. You see, originally, the 360 degrees of what you call a zodiac, which is life disc. Some would say, oh, it means animal because it's zoo, but that's not what it is. It's Zoe. Zoe is an Ethiopian name, for example. There are people called Zoe. Zoe means life. Okay? You gotta, even when you deal with, what is it? One of the cells, the Zoe site, okay, is a living cell, right? So Zoe means life, and Diakos, disc, okay? Now, some people want to interpret stuff, want to turn around and hold a different translation. That's okay for them. But I like to go into source roots of things, you see? Because that's part of my own astrological makeup. So you're dealing with the disc of life. You are the disc of life. In asana, the body postures, that is one of the 8 limbs in Ashtanga yoga, for example, where a lot of people see yoga as predominantly the body postures, body movements, okay, stretches and so forth. That is one part of it. But there is a movement called Shen, or the Shenu. Even the term Shen represents eternity. You will see this on the hieroglyphics. You'll see this in hieroglyphics, which has been depicted from what is being called ancient Egypt, but we're talking about ancient Kemet. But you're dealing with symbols, okay? Now, these symbols are basically information that is encoded at a cellular level, cellular memory of yourself. So the Shenu is basically also what you call the wheel. When someone does that shape, that position, they do the backward fall, okay? And your hands and your legs, you're in the, arched up. That's called the wheel or the Shenu. Now, that was a depiction of the whole zodiac, okay? Yeah, the wheel of life. That is you. It used to be depicted as Asar's body. So it was something that was very well known back then, that it's an internalized system. This is all about you. Okay, and when you're dealing with the cosmic principles, the cosmic laws of existence, one of the principles is as above, so below, which is the law of correspondence. Okay, as above, so below. Okay, as within, so without. But we're not all fully conscious of what's going on within to be able to realize that outwardly is only reflecting an aspect of yourself. You see what I mean? So that's why sometimes it's not necessarily that all that is within is without, because you're not consciously aware that you are thinking and putting out a particular energy. So you would not acknowledge that what's going on outside as a mirror is taking place within inside of you. So that's why it wouldn't appear as making, that aspect all the time. But that's what is really going on. So when we're talking about the zodiac, the wheel of life, when we're talking about astrology, the study of the star within you, yeah, you're studying the sun. We even hear the story of the only begotten son. Well, you see, sons are first born, yeah, children, right, of the universe. Sons are first born, and then out of the suns come planets, and planets means wandering stars. Okay, so when we're talking about, so I'm going to go into astrology from the angle of the internal astrology, because when you keep looking outside of yourself, this is where we then have this separation and don't understand the corresponding significance and relationship between ourselves and the universe, ourselves and what is being projected in the holographic mirror that we're perceiving as the outer world. Okay? So the reason why I'm deciding to talk about astrology this evening is because a lot of the emotional and psychological twists, distortions, projections, confusion, all of the experiences, different kind. People are going to experience the same thing in different ways, but all of this is being activations going on inside yourself. So, I would like to open the line for anybody who would like to ask some questions concerning what I'm talking about for more clarity. But this is going to be a bit of a different show this evening, because it's a bit like, you see, a lot of people are running away from themselves, and you can't run away from yourself. You see, you're here to find yourself, and you're here because there were things in your soul. You see, you had desires, and it's your desire that draws you to that which you're desiring. So we are being drawn back to this planet because of unresolved stuff. And we've been brought back in this time because this time is very, very different to the previous centuries. Okay? The previous thousands of years, right? Cycles that have gone on. We have completed a 26,000. You can add on a few more because some have talked about a 30,000. But the point being, you're dealing with this cosmic clock known as the zodiac. Okay. And this is within you. The 12 houses represents the 12 cranial nerves in your brain. Okay. The 12 house signs represent the 12 chambers within the heart. Okay. This is the spiritual heart I'm talking about. You see? And, 12 symbolizes divine governance or the divine government. All right. So all of this is so intimately interwoven with you that it's being perceived in a very, very kind of separative way from you, because whatever's taking place in the heavens is going to be taking place within you. And you would have heard the term or the saying that the kingdom of heaven is within you. You see, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Right. So the heavens, even, when I was growing up, Rastaman would talk about being in their itation and being in them heavens. Yeah. In them heavens. Yeah. In their heights. Yeah. These are all terms to talk about the inner journey. You are going into accessing your inner heavens. So what's shining? What's taking place in your inner heavens? Because it's like when you're looking out, you're on the earth. Yeah, you're dealing with the physical, tangible aspects of what you are relating to, yeah, as you. Yeah, and this would be the earth. When you close your eyes and go within, you're taking a journey now, okay, inward. You're taking a journey into your inner heavens. Yeah, heaven and earth. You understand? And the mediator between heaven and earth is you. You have in your body what they call the chakra system. You have the 7 energy centers, major ones, but there's more than that. But just keeping it simple, you got the 7 major energy centers called chakras, which means wheels of vortex energy of consciousness, right? And you've got these 7 planes of consciousness within yourself. You got the crown. You've got the crown chakra, the ajna, the third eye chakra. You got your throat chakra. You got your heart chakra. You got your solar plexus. You got your sacral. Okay. You got your root chakra gonads, which also extend into the feet. Because, it would make sense that your root chakra is in your feet. You see? Not just, where they say the coccyx or what they call it, the coccyx tailbone or the gonad area. Okay. But the mediator between all of those energy centers you have running through you energetically, you're not going to find them physically. You're going to find them in your energetic bodies. Okay. Because there's more to you than just the physical. Okay. So you have 7 energy centers. The mediator is your heart. If you notice, you got your heart chakra, which is the mediator between the heavens and the earth within you. You got your heart chakra made of the 6-pointed star. You've got 2 triangles, one ascending, one descending. That is the masculine one that is ascending, and the feminine one is what's descending. And therefore, you have the lingam and the yoni, the masculine and the feminine, unified, harmoniously balanced in the heart center. So this is about the balancement and expansion, meaning the openness of your heart, that becomes the mediator between the cosmic resonance within you and your earthly resonance of you. Okay? Because the heart chakra or energy vortex of consciousness represents, this is you dealing with, when they say the mediator between you and God, that's your heart. Okay? In the religion, they give you these symbolic things about Christ is the mediator between the Father and heaven, and no one can get to the Father but by me. What it means is you can only get into the access of the higher truth within you through your heart opened. You ain't going to get no access of higher truth if your heart is closed. All right? So the heart is the mediator. Just like if you don't open your door, you cannot receive whatever gift is coming, towards you. Your door is closed. That's it. You've blocked out things. See? So, or you blocked out what is coming for you. What I mean coming for you, the good, the heaven, is also called the manners of heaven, meaning to receive the manna from heaven, it means that your heart has to be open, your heart center, okay? That heart consciousness, yeah, has to be open for you to receive the higher truth or the truth from your higher consciousness or your higher consciousness of yourself or your higher self. My gosh, you know, there's all these different type of terms, which are already talking about the same thing, but the same thing, the thing that it's referring to has not been clarified to many people. So they think in all of these different words are these different things when it's the same thing I talk about. So you're dealing with the higher self, which is your soul. Your soul is the higher vibratory reality of you. In fact, your soul is you, and your body and physicality resides in your soul. Hence why you got an energy field surrounding you, and your body is within that. You see what I'm saying? So it's your soul is who you is, and your body is a vehicle for its expression, purpose, and intention for why you've incarnated back here again. So why I'm going into astrology in this way is because when you get transits, you are having activations within inside of yourself to bring to your awareness the things that you need to become aware of for that transformation, we can say. All right. That transformation concerning that area and that aspect of you. So there's so much to really go into this thing with astrology, because astrology is the study and the studying of the knowledge of yourself. Astrology was one of those arcane tools to assist one to know thyself, because without knowing thyself, you do not come off the wheel of karma. You see, karma is about action. And every action has a reaction. And there is a consequences behind every thought, okay? Every action has a consequence. And when you talk about the word sequence, look at phonetical the sounds. You're dealing with a sequence that's coming together, synchronizing with another event. You know, when people talk about, oh, it's a coincidence, you're talking about an incident coinciding together. So, you know, this is what these are the terms that are used when you are ignorant or unaware of the laws of existence. Okay. The laws of causation. Yeah. When you don't realize the law of causation or the principle of causation, then everything seems like an accident. Everything's just happening by coincidence. There's no rhyme, no reason, yeah, to anything. And this is how the personality, the human self, keeps thinking. And therefore, that keeps you locked within the dungeon, all right? Yeah, it keeps you locked into the dungeon of your own human thinking, yeah, which is ignorant of anything beyond what it can see, smell, hear, and touch. So you remain like, you know, a saw trapped in the coffin. You see what I'm saying? And then you're then set to, you know, wow. I just see the analogy with a saw in the coffin and then being thrown into the River Nile with the whole thing with the dungeons and the slave ships, so to speak, because I would like to see one of them, see, to confirm this narrative and story. Man, I could go into some other areas here about this whole thing, but you got a narrative you're believing in, which ain't true. But because you don't know who you are and how powerful you are, you can even make a lie the truth. You understand? Whether you're right or wrong, you're correct. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the one that's given life and reality to the outpicturing of what you're experiencing in this present incarnation, right? The whole point of really coming here is to work out, free yourself from the fetters of the soul, which is the human personality, okay, the ego, right? And so you don't have to be drawn back here because you've resolved your stuff. Your soul won't be drawn back here when you've resolved your stuff, because it's only because of unresolved things here, which then gets caught up in the desire of the soul, yeah, that based on vibrations, you're going to be pulled back here. And you ain't supposed to be pulled back here. You're supposed to flip and leave here. You see? You know, it's like being in school, but you're 40 years old, still in second grade. You know what I'm saying? And by the age of 40, you're supposed to find your balance because you're dealing with a four square. Yeah? Your foundation, your balance. Yeah? Your stability. That's why they say life begins at 40. You know? But for many folk, they're still at kindergarten level when it comes to the spiritual maturity and development that needs to take place within themselves. We just think people are grown big because their bodies are big. But just because your body is big don't mean that you have matured, spiritually grown and matured in self-knowledge, knowing yourself. You're still running away from yourself, you know, not taking any responsibility for what's coming up inside of you. Yeah. In order for you to get clear with yourself so you can be free from, you know, you can heal yourself. Man, you see, I may have to do a class on, you know, soul astrology because this is real deal stuff. You see, you know, I could go through each planet and what they represent. I can go through each sign and explain what they each represent to you. I can go through each house, yeah, showing you the area in your life where these things are taking place. And you notice the term, what's happening in your life, yeah? Not what's happening out your life, yours being what's going on in your life, because that's where everything is taking place from. It's taking place within you. You are the life. And you're giving life to that which you hold as real to you. Okay? But you see, you have illusions and you have reality. You see, the illusions are based upon that which is impermanent. A lot of us look outside of ourselves and want to make attachments to things we think give us empowerment, things we think gives us value, things we think gives us sense of security, things we think gives us sense of worth, you know, the things we want to acquire from others, so-called respect, honor, and all of this and stuff, right? When you look outside of yourself towards these things and try to merge with that, okay, you can merge with that, but this is when you're setting yourself up for disappointment because these things on the external can all be taken away from you. And this is when people experience loss, abandonment, betrayal. I use these words because I'm referring to Scorpio, because this is what's going down at the moment when we're dealing with Venus retrograding through Scorpio. And now it's on its path direct again. While it's on its path direct, it has to walk over the shadow of the retrograde path it began. You see? Last month. Okay? And it's until you come out of that shadow, which would be 10 degrees Scorpio. This is when you go to 11 degrees Scorpio, when Venus reaches 11 degrees Scorpio, that's when you're out of the shadow of the Scorpio Venus retrograde. Okay? So this, why I'm talking on this evening, astrology, the study of your soul. You see, astrology is also, you see what it is, it's your unique astrological chart is the arrangement of your consciousness. So your consciousness is arranged in a particular way unique to you. And this is what your soul configurations has chosen to come in when planetary alignments were in particular signs and at particular relationships, which are called angles or aspects to one another. Okay, you chose this to come in at that time, at that moment, because that is what's going to set up the structure, you can say, for your works you come in here to do. How you come in here to free yourself from the limitations you put on yourself when you were making various choices and decisions before in previous incarnations that did not enable you to free yourself from having to come back here. Because we got caught up very much in this illusion. All right, let me explain something here. You see, you have a generation who have come in here with Uranus and Pluto conjunct in Virgo. You may be one of those generations. This was between 1957 to 1972, where Pluto was in Virgo, and then Uranus came along and conjunct with it, right, in 1965. So you got a generation, right, from 1957 to 1972 with Pluto in Virgo. And you have a generation from 1965 to around 1972 with Uranus and Pluto conjunction. Okay? Now, these are your soul aspects. Starting there, I've got to give a little bit of structure. You see, when you deal with the sun sign and your moon sign, you're dealing with your personality. Your sun sign represents the life force, creative energy of your personality, what you're giving energy to. Your moon sign represents your conscious ego and your habitualness, that what you do to give you security. Okay? Because the moon represents security. The sun represents your self-expression. Yeah, your creative life force energy. All right. Actually, I should say your sun represents the creative life force energy of you. The moon represents your sense of security, the things habitually that you do that you form security from. But it's the image, it's the reflection, it's your self-image that you've become accustomed to. These things that give you a sense of security. So the moon represents your ego of the personality, not your soul, the ego of your personality, and what gives you security, because the moon represents Cancer, meaning the sign Cancer. Venus represents your sense of self-worth and value. How you sense your personal sense of love, self-worth, and value. Okay? That's Venus. And it's the yin aspect of your nature, the feminine, that which this is your receptive side. Okay? The receptive side. And then you have Mars, which is about the freedom to express yourself. Okay? Some people go, oh, Mars is a masculine energy and it's all about anger. You see, that is nonsense. You see, because Mars is your ability to express yourself. Mars rules Aries. Aries is the first budding aspect coming out of universal consciousness of exploration. Wants to be the pioneer, okay? To move into new things, new territory. You see what I mean? And Mars is the way it expresses itself as free to express itself, free to move out. It's the masculine energy which is active and moves forth from you. Yeah? This is your active masculine energy. And the feminine energy is Venus, which is about the receptiveness and the reflectiveness and your sense of your sense of love, self-love, yeah, self-worth and value. Okay? And with that, based upon your sense, your personal sense of self-love, worth, and value, you draw to you, because it's magnetic, it's feminine, okay? You draw to you who will mirror back to you your sense of self-love, your personal sense of love, and personal sense of worth and value, okay? So you're actually drawing to you magnetically who's just going to become a mirror for how your sense of love, your sense of value and worth that you have going on in you at a personality level. You see? So some people draw to themselves people who are just reflecting to them how they feel inside of themselves, about themselves. Yeah. You see? So you got your Mars, as I said, which is the masculine. Now, why they turn around and say that Mars is like anger is because when you have suppressed emotions and are and you are unable to freely express yourself without, being, how you can say, dumped on, or what you call the word, you persecuted for it, okay? Without being restricted, then these energies get suppressed, and the suppressed energy can come out and as anger, okay? But Mars in itself ain't anger. Mars is the spiritual warrior, if you want to say. Mars is that energy that enables you to freely express yourself, okay? And it complements Venus, because Venus is how your receptive aspect, the awareness in yourself, the feeling nature. As I said, it's your sense of personal love, your sense of personal worth, self-worth and value, okay? And how those have been programmed in you. You see what I mean? How those conditions in you, this becomes the mirror. This becomes the energy, or the magnetic energy, feminine, magnetic, Mars, electric. You see what I'm saying? Masculine. You see? The masculine is fire. The feminine is water. You see how it go? You get some folk who want to twist this whole up and says, man must drop him fire. Why must you let go of your fire, man? You're the divine masculine, and you got that divine feminine. Yeah? You have many women who are not in their femininity at all. Yeah, they're pseudo men, pseudo masculine, pseudo males. And then you have this confusion going on where you're trying to turn the men into females rather than masculine, meaning electric. They have the fire. They have that active energy. They're the penetrating light. You understand? But you see, if you're afraid of yourself, and if you've had experiences, well, let me go back. I will slow down a sec before I go there. So you dealing with the sun is your personal life force, creative life force energy. Okay? You've got the moon, which represents your conscious ego. Your personality, what you identify with and what makes you feel secure. Okay? You have your Venus, which is how you are, your receptive aspect of you, which is how you gain a sense of what you call love for yourself or not, what you call self-worth or not, what you call self-value or not. You see what I mean? But this is what it represents. And Mars is about how you freely can express yourself. Yeah? From how you feel. Then you move into these other planets, which you're dealing with now. You're going to talk about Jupiter. You see, Jupiter has just moved into Sagittarius. That's where it is right now. Jupiter is the inner guru. Guru means moving from darkness to light. It's your inner guru. Jupiter represents how you grow and develop your consciousness. Jupiter represents the ether. It represents the expansion of consciousness in you. Okay? Jupiter represents how you grow and develop. The way you grow and develop. How you grow and develop. Growth is another way of saying expansion. Hence why Jupiter is a big planet. Okay? Huge planet. Yeah? Could become a sun, another star. This is astronomy, naming the planets and the studying of the planets. You see what I mean? It's astrology. Yeah? The naming of the planets is called astronomy. Nomi meaning name. Okay? So if you're following me, because this is about astrology this evening, and why I'm going to bring it all together, why I'm going into this, because you're carrying all of this stuff within you. You cannot run from it. You know what I mean? You can't run from yourself, man. Yeah? Running away, and you can't run from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are. You see? So it's best for you to get to know yourself. Unless you're afraid of yourself. You know, see what's going down? Because fear is the big factor here. You have people full of fear to the point where they just project fear upon They just they'll even make you listen. If you didn't know yourself, you'd get afraid of yourself, because all them do is projecting their fears, not their love, not their truth, not their power, but their fears. All right, their insecurities, right? Because they're in fear. They're not in love. They are in fear. You understand what I'm saying? And fear is what them run this planet upon. All right? And a lot of people are getting afraid because of what's coming up. A lot of things are coming out because everybody's getting touched, because it's called a grand awakening cycle. So therefore, it's called grand because it's everybody will get touched. Everybody's getting activated. Everybody's getting activated so they can come into soul awakening, or awakening to the soul. Consciousness, awakening to themselves. You see what I'm saying? Awakening to their self. The self is the soul. So, you see, so when I said about Jupiter now, Jupiter is how you grow and how you expand your consciousness, and it represents the ether. Then you're dealing with Saturn now, right? Remember, everything I am just telling you about the planets, they're all inside of you. These represents your makeup, yeah? This represents how you operate, right? This represents, the ones I've just said, represents the personal planets. Why are they personal? Because these are dealing with the personal, and these can be conditioned, okay? This is your personal stuff you came back here to deal with. Seen? Now, when you're dealing with Saturn now, people want to say, yes, Saturn is Kronos, Saturn is Father Time, Saturn is Sekur on the Asa Aset tree of life, meaning power. But check this. It's the power of manifestation. Saturn represents crystallization. This is why they say it's limits and bounds. It's about form. It's about how your thoughts and feelings, based upon what you've believed, yeah, based upon the arrangement of your consciousness and your perception, yeah, Saturn becomes the solidification of your beliefs. It's the builder. It is that which manifests your realities. It manifests into form how you are thinking and feeling. And this can be from a subconscious level. It's not necessarily, you know, this is why a lot of people, because they're not conscious of the creative power, impulse within their consciousness, yeah, of their thoughts and feelings, they don't understand how they're manifesting things. All right. And then they become limited or constricted by these type, what they're manifesting. You see, because Saturn can be limitation. Yeah. Because Saturn is dealing with the form, the crystallizing of your fluid consciousness energy into a particular form. Okay. I left out of here before I went into Saturn was Mercury. Mercury represents how you think, your thinking process, how you accumulate ideas, how you receive ideas, how you communicate, what you communicate. You see what I'm saying? Right? So Mercury represents this in you. So this is how it's ridiculous for people to expect everyone to think the same, because your Mercury ain't even in the same place. Your Mercury is not in the same sign, in the same house as everybody else or the person next door to you. So how do you expect others to think in the same way as you? It's not that you cannot have complementary, as you can't complement one another. Of course you can, but you're here to be who you is. For example, I got Sun in Aquarius, which means I come in here. My life force energy is about my individuality. It's about me having freedom, right? I got Moon in Gemini, which represents I need the freedom to communicate myself. I need the freedom to communicate my authenticity, my individuality. You understand? That's what I come in here. That's what my personality construct has come in here to be, in order to support my soul's intention and purpose. And I will get into the soul aspect in a second, right? So you got a lot of people they want to be themselves, but they don't want others to be themselves. You get people who, they want to always control other people's behavior because it's something they can't control. But they want to be free to be who they are, but they don't want others to be free to be who they are. You know, see how it go? So you know somebody's got a control issue within themselves, right? Because they aren't even looking into their own astrology to understand themselves. They're caught up with things they don't completely comprehend. And they're running on old fumes. They don't see that you've come in here not to repeat the same things. Yeah. For example, say you have a certain experience, keep repeating itself. It's been repeating itself from growing up to a certain period in your life, competing itself. That means if it keeps repeating itself, it means you ain't learned nothing. You're the one still needing to learn something for that situation to keep repeating itself. You understand? You're stuck somewhere and you have not come into a certain realization which changes that vibration in you in order for the situation to change. Okay? Because you haven't learned something. You have not opened up to be receptive to realize the pattern you're contributing to repeating itself. Because that's what a pattern is. Something that keeps repeating itself that you can acknowledge, oh, this thing is making a pattern. Oh, to the point where you can predict what's going to happen next. Because it's creating a pattern that keeps repeating itself. You have that in people's lives. Okay? And then you have this term where, you know, you're some victim. You cannot be a victim to yourself, but you can believe that as an illusion as an escapism. As a way of escaping the responsibility that you need to have. Responsibility, able to answer. Respond means to answer. Ability is the power that gives you that, you know, the ability is the power. You're able to answer what the call of your own light. Respond. Catch? Yeah. So astrology is powerful stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about you. It's all within you. So I added back the Mercury, how you think, how you gain ideas. Hope you're writing down notes here. I didn't even tell people to do so. Maybe just listening, kicking back and it's going over your head. But no problem. No problem. Because some people learn better by listening to audios or listening to what is being said. They learn better that way than reading. Some people think you just got to keep reading to learn something. Now, everybody's going to learn a different way. Right now, the generation we dealing with, they listen better by audio. They don't necessarily want to sit down there and read a big thick book, how many hours they're going to take. You know what I mean? But they would prefer to listen. And you can absorb knowledge in that way. And you can repeat the listening if you need be. But, you know, you have those who learn more easy via listening rather than reading. You see? So I'm saying these things here now to explain that all these planets represent you, you know. These are different aspects in your consciousness. Yeah, these are different attributes within you. You know? These are energies which you possess, man, direct, man. But if you don't know yourself, you don't know what you're dealing with. Yeah? So I said that Saturn is how you manifest and crystallize. Okay? Your belief systems or your ideas. And then you move into Uranus. You see, Uranus now represents freedom and liberation. Uranus is your soul energy now because your soul is free. But you see, Uranus works with Saturn. And Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Now, we're in the time, or we're moving into the era of Aquarius now. Yeah? We are not in the industrial age no more. The 20th century thing. We are in information age. This is the pouring forth of the waters of life, which is what Aquarius represents. People look at it and think, you know, it's a water sign because you're seeing those symbols, but it's an air sign. But it's ether air, it's etheric air, it's etheric light. Okay? So Aquarius represents the outpouring of the waters of life. Yeah? In the abundance of water, the fools are thirsty. You would have heard that saying. We're in this era now where it's about receiving the waters of life in order for one to wake up, what nourishes your soul. You see, things that's been yes, brother. I just had brother Carl X entering into the place. So just have to give him a big up to my brother, yes, sir. Yeah? Yes, I. So as I was saying, you're dealing with Aquarius. Aquarius is the outpouring of the waters of life, that which nourishes your soul. Nothing's gonna be on this level of the personality level anymore. That nah touch the spot. Yeah? It not come in like Heine King, as they say, you know, reaches the parts that other beers can't reach. I'm not really a beer drinker, but you get what me I say. Yeah? Well, the waters of life, this information age we are in is about the waters of life, that knowledge which is going to touch the parts that, yeah, other knowledge, superficial knowledge, personality knowledge, ego-sinting, external whatnot business, man-made limitations and earthly beliefs and them type of concept. Nah, it can't touch, can't reach the parts of the soul, yeah, that this knowledge we are chat about is to reach. The waters of life, which is what Aquarius represents. You see what I mean? So Aquarius represents the Uranus. Uranus is lightning and thunder. Yeah? It's like out the blue, lightning clap. It will fragment all what has become what would be the word here? Solidified, okay? Restricted, limited. That's the Saturn now. See, Saturn becomes what you manifest. Saturn can become old, outworn structures. All right. And then you end up having Uranus, which is going to fracture that structure in order to liberate, yeah, the soul, the consciousness to be able to grow and expand beyond these limitations. Another way of putting it, you have a family, mother and father. They got a house. Two people together, they have a house. Enough space. But then as time goes on, they begin to accumulate more things, you know, possessions and so forth. Then them have children. And now there's more bodies in other place. Yeah. So they have these children. They may have 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. They may, you know, them have children. Now this same house, this form, this structure that they were in and growing within now is becoming restricting. Because as you're growing and expanding your family, the space is getting eaten up. Now, this form and structure is not supporting the growth and the expansion of your consciousness, your development, you, yeah, in order to grow. So you're going to have to move out of that form into a bigger place. You get what I mean? Another way of putting what I'm saying is like you have a pair of shoes and them nice, yeah? When you was growing up or younger, you have these pair of shoes. Yeah, them fit you. But as time goes on, the shoes get tight. As time goes on, your feet are growing. So now what's happening is that if you try to keep your feet in those shoes, you're now going to get corn, bunion, and foot issues. You see what I'm saying? Because the shoe's too tight. So you're now going to have to acknowledge that this form you have outgrown, this structure, this which has been created and manifested, crystallized from a belief. You're going to realize that a belief that has created it is outgrown. You've outgrown it. It is no longer serving you. So you end up having a dash with them pair of shoes, yeah? Or hand me down them to anybody. You know, that's what was going on in various folks' lives when we growing up. But what I'm saying is that you're going to have to get some shoes which are going to be fitting to your grown feet. So you have to get a bigger pair of shoes. Nowadays, when you reach a certain point with your body, you don't have to buy no new, a bigger pair of shoes because you just know the shoes size that you have. But still, you're going to have to buy new shoes because you can outgrow shoes. I mean, you can buck up shoes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? So you need a new thing. So therefore, there has to be a new structure, a new form. You see what I mean? That you have to manifest. So this is what Saturn is. But Uranus coming like the lightning that says, hang on a minute. This thing is restrictive. This form is no longer enabling I to grow. You see, the form can be like the cup, the vase, or the vase, yeah? The vessel. And then you have Uranus like the water, yeah? So then the water now, it takes on the form of the cup. But the water flows, whereas the cup is rigid. See? Now the water is the life, and consciousness is life, and consciousness is fluid. Yeah, it flows. But if you're now in a construction that has become limited for the consciousness to expand and flow, then Uranus is what comes in. This Uranus with you, yeah, is what fractures that structure in order to liberate itself from the limitation of those forced beliefs, okay, of those forced structures, those limiting structures. They don't work anymore. So this is the liberating power of your soul that will come in and, yeah, shatter limited belief systems, you see. So Uranus is represented by Aquarius. Even, you know, Uranus is represented by Aquarius. And we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of the outpouring of the waters of life that satisfies and nourishes the soul. Hence, I know. That's the mantra of Aquarius. I know. You see what I mean? Because it's about knowing thyself in this time, knowing the soul self, not the personality transitory self. You know what I mean? That we get attached to, believing, yeah, man, everything is in this, and it's not. You see? Now, when you're dealing with Neptune, Neptune is a planet of transcendence. Neptune is that energy, that consciousness. Remember, all of these are aspects of your consciousness. So we're not chat about these things outside of you. We're talking about the powers that are activating within you through transits. Okay? Or you can tap into these energies within you. Yeah? As you become more attuned and have more knowledge of yourself, you can become now consciously, yeah, the one who activates various energies in yourself and direct those powers, yeah, those creative forces. You can come to the point where you don't need to come back here. And this is why being alive in this day and time, when I say alive in this day and time, being incarnated in this day and time is the most magical, powerful time to be here, because you have the opportunity to wake up in this lifetime. Yeah, to wake up in this lifetime, to wake up and know yourself in this lifetime. Free yourself from this karmic spin so you don't have to come back again in this your drama, this place which is called the Valley of Tears, as I was talking about last Tuesday. That incarnation is called the Valley of Tears, the suffering. This is where you hurt one another down here. This is where you experience limitation and emotions. Yeah? When I say emotions, these limiting emotions. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to come back here when you wake up to yourself. And that's what it's all been about. It's all been about salvation of the soul. For you to free your soul from the fetters, meaning the ego personality. See it? Right? But this day and time, what we're dealing with now is that you can wake up in this lifetime, because the energy is coming into this, when we say coming into this planet, actually everything is coming through you. These strong frequency waves are coming through you, right? And they're making changes to your DNA, to your cellular structure. You see what I'm saying? Right? And this is why, and then we hold memories of the past. We hold trauma. We hold trauma, okay? We have trauma of past life experiences. You see, the soul contains all these memories, the soul's memories. And sometimes what has happened in the past bleeds over into the present in your consciousness. All these memories stored in the subconscious, your soul memories, yeah, of past persecution. You know what I mean? You see, where you have Uranus is also showing you your trauma, as well as where you need to liberate, how you're going to liberate and free yourself. You see what I'm saying? From these limited constructions, these limited ideas. Yeah? So, and then you're dealing with, so when I said about Neptune being how you transcend the illusionary boundaries of what you believe is so, or what you believe is real. Yeah? Because Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune is unbounded consciousness. Neptune represents the union, the oneness, Yeah, it's the absolute love of pure source energy. That's Neptune. Okay, and that energy is you. All right. Neptune rules Pisces. Pisces represents the absolute truth, the ocean. Yeah, but at the same time, Pisces is also representing the delusion and the illusion. Because if you're still identified with the personality and you're dealing with all of these limitations in the sense of that, you're believing that when you look at the horizon, oh, that's it, because you can't see anywhere beyond the horizon. You're looking out and you see the horizon and that's it. All right. But you know instinctively that there's more. The horizon doesn't end. There's no water. There's no flipping, oh shit, that's the end of the world. Oh damn, you know, you go past there, you drop out. Yeah. You know that there is more beyond the horizon. Okay. So Neptune is this aspect of you that dissolves and decays all that, all boundaries. Okay. All that which creates boundaries, separation. You know what I mean? Separation. Like you would think about yourself in a way that you're separate from this person outside of you or that thing out there, you know, because of the body frame. Yeah. It makes you believe that the space in you is different from the space outside. You know what I'm saying? When there is really no outside. Everything is taking place with inside you. Everything is being perceived with inside you. You see? All changes take place with inside you. All which is impacting, yeah, you is taking place inside you. Because you know, it's all happening within. All right? So Neptune is the unity consciousness. When you realize you are not this personality, you are the soul and you are boundless consciousness. So now you want to deal with the flow. Yeah, you got to move with the flow, the current of life within you, boundless consciousness. This is where Neptune is the transcendence of limitations, of separation. And you become one with, you realize you are one with the source. You see, the source is in you. All right. And then when you're dealing with Pluto, you're dealing with the soul's desire. Pluto deals with transmutation and Uranus deals with transformation. Transmutation is actually changing the whole form or structure altogether. You know, like you get a caterpillar and then it becomes a cocoon and then it transforms into a butterfly. You see, that's transmutation. It's a different shape altogether, different form, different thing. Yeah. Well, that's the transmutative power of your soul. It's the desire of your soul. Whereas Uranus becomes the transformer, meaning limited structures that no longer serve you have to be fractured. Limited belief systems, limited ideas, they will be fractured, shattered in order for the growth and liberation of you, your individuality, your uniqueness. You see? You see, so we're moving into a time of Aquarius, which is about your uniqueness, your individuality. You understand? And hence why I speak the way I do, because I got Aquarius sun. I got Sagittarius rising. All right? I've got moon in Gemini. I've got, listen, triple grand trine in water. Man, I got Uranus and Pluto conjunct in the ninth house in Virgo, because I'm of that generation. You have the generation who's got Pluto in Scorpio. They're from 1984 to 1995, if I'm correct and remember. Yes? So you're dealing with a generation when you're dealing with Pluto in Scorpio. All right, before I go there, I am going to talk about, so I'm talked about astrology and how all of this is about you. Because when you start moving into the energy planets of Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, this is your soul now. These are soul powers. This is soul energy. Yeah? Pluto, the desire, what's made your soul come back here, because there's things you still needed to figure out. Why? How? You understand? You got Uranus, which is about liberation, things you still need to free yourself up from. You see what I'm saying? And you got Neptune, where you still haven't, consciously realized you are source. You are boundless consciousness. So these are your soul energies. And the other planets is your personal energies. You see what I mean? So you can then say, reason why they call Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto generational planets is because you're dealing with the impersonal nature of yourself. Whereas when you're dealing with Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn and Jupiter, these are personal planets. What you've personalized and what you are, where your personality construct is to become this instrument and creative tool for your soul's purpose. Why your soul came in here. Again, what's drawn it through the desires of Pluto. Pluto, the desire and the desire will of your soul. Neptune is your unbounded consciousness, knowing you are source. You are absolute love. Whereas Venus represents the lower octave of Neptune, which is about your conditional love. I love you if you love me. I'll give to you if you give to me. Them type of things. You know what I mean? Whereas Neptune is unbounded love star. Neptune is source love. You are that. That's your soul consciousness, though. You see what I'm saying? So I went through a lot of these things, giving you understanding about the planets and how they relate to you. These are aspects of your soul powers. You see what I'm saying? And the signs are archetypes. Archetypes. Archetype means ruling type. Like you have a prototype, the type before the types that you have now, which were built upon the prototype. Yeah? Well, you have the archetype, which means the ruling types. They will always be what they are. Yeah? The ruling types. These are ruling aspects, attributes within your consciousness. That's what all the signs represent. Yeah? And every sign is related to a part of your body. Okay? Aries is the head. All right? The brain, the top of your head and your head. And then you're dealing with Taurus, which is representing your throats. Yeah? Part of your face. Your Geminis, your arms, the twins, your arms. Cancer is dealing with your breast, your chest. You see what I'm saying? Leo is dealing with your heart. Your heart. See it? Yeah? The expression from your heart. Virgo is dealing with the nurturing aspect of your, to your body and a relationship between your body and mind. Hence why Virgo represents completeness. You have to realize the completeness of yourself. Yeah. Virgo is about healing, health. Virgo is a spiritual consciousness when it realizes the sources within itself, because Virgo is opposite Pisces, which is the source. Virgo is the discerning mind. Virgo can be caught up in criticism and judgment and so forth, but Virgo is about organizing. Virgo represents your digestive system. Okay? That's what Virgo deal with. See? In your body, as I was relating the signs to your body now. Right? So Virgo represents your digestive system, how you assimilate and digest information. You see what I'm saying? The small intestines is what draws all the nutrients up from the food. The large intestines is what dehydrates anything out of what cannot no longer be, what you call it? What's the word? What cannot be, what's not useful for the body, what's not beneficial for the body is what the large intestines, that food goes there in order to excrete it. You know what I mean? So you're dealing with absorption of information and knowledge and knowing how to discern between what's useful and what's not. Yeah? In order to organize things in a way that becomes practical and productive. Yeah? That's Virgo. All right? So you're dealing with the digestive system when we're dealing with the body. Okay? How these signs, archetypes represent, they're all in you. They're all part of your body. Okay? And then after Virgo is Libra, where you're dealing with your kidneys and the adrenal glands on top of your kidneys. And finding the balance through opposites. You see what I'm saying? Virgo represents your kidneys and the adrenal glands and how you find equanimity by finding the balance between the opposites, opposing poles. Because really, two poles are, two poles, or what is opposite, is two extremes of the same thing. Hot and cold is two extremes of the same thing, man. Wet and dry, two extremes of the same thing. Okay? So Libra represents integration. Okay? Where you are finding your integration, how you integrate from being aware of imbalance, you have to find that balance within yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that represents your kidneys, all right, and adrenal glands. So all of this is inside of you. That's Libra. Now, when you're dealing with Scorpio, you're dealing with the gonads. You're dealing with this. That's why Scorpio is linked to the life force, sexual energy. Okay? It's also related to the mystery. Hence why you're always covering up your lower parts. You know what I'm saying? They call it the, what? The crown jewels. They call it the jewels. Yeah. You know, your sexual organs, the regenerative principle. That's what Scorpio represents. The regenerative. That's hence why it's linked to life, death, and rebirth. Okay? But on other consciousness level, it's linked to, abandonment, loss, and betrayal. Because this is what Scorpio is coming in to work out why. Why it wants to go deep into why, how. So it deals with the psychology. Yeah, when you start to question the things you've come in here to question, they've happened in order for you to be the questionnaire. So you can now start to tap into the deeper mysteries behind, right, in things in order to understand why and how of yourself. And Scorpio is about looking for power. Where am I empowered? Okay? It's looking for empowerment. It rules by, it's the soul's power. It's Pluto ruled that. See? It's your desire of your soul. And then so you're dealing with the regenerative organs when you're dealing with Scorpio. Okay? And there is more, but I'm just simplifying it for making you see the correlations of where the signs correspond to your body. So another way of confirming how all of this astrology is within you. You are it. That's why you need to know yourself. That's why you need to know your astrology. Yeah? You have to know the study of the star within you, your soul. Because that's what astrology is, the study of the star. Yeah? Celestial beings, celestial objects, celestial bodies. You are that. And if you're not studying you, how you expect to know you? Huh? And if you don't know you, how you going to operate the uniqueness that you are and express that? Huh? You're going to be there fighting against yourself. Everything you see as a mirror reflection of you, you're going to want to fight it. Huh? You're going to run from it, running scared like, right? Denying, you know what I mean? You know, I learned nothing. You know, I grew up. So you need to get to know you. Yeah? And you're carrying all of this within inside of you. So I'm just explaining how the signs move throughout your body. They all represents different parts of your body also, as well as different aspects in your consciousness also. Yeah? So that's Scorpio. And after Scorpio, we got Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the quest for truth and expansion. You see what I'm saying? Sagittarius represents your thighs. Hence, they're chatting about and your hips so you can move with joy. You notice when people get a little bit, certain problem with their hips is because they're not moving with joy in their life. They are not in that state of joyous consciousness. You see? Because you need your hips to move forward and you need your thighs to powerfully drive forward. You see what I'm saying? So your hips, give you the flexibility and your thighs give you the power to drive forward. And Sagittarius is about traveling long journeys and where you journey and travel and expand your consciousness. But really, Sagittarius is about the journey within yourself to expand your consciousness. You see? Because it's all about consciousness. You see? So hence why Sagittarius, sage, means the wisdom, wise. Yeah? Because the expansion of your consciousness. It's the guru within yourself that you need to get in touch with, yeah? Which takes you from the darkness to the light. That's what guru means, yeah? Your inner guru to take you from the darkness of ignorance of the human personality to the light of illumination of your soul. Guru, sin? That's Jupiter, that's Sagittarius. Sagittarius represents the path. When you're on a spiritual path, you're on it, yeah? The archer, the intuition, you got to be steady. Yeah, focus so that arrow can flow true. It can fly true to the galactic center. Yeah, the point, the origin of yourself. You're seeking to know the cosmic reality, not the illusion of the earthly condition. You see what I'm saying? So that's what Sagittarius represents. And in your body, it's your hips and your thighs. And can be your buttocks. You know what I mean? But usually people with Sagittarius are broad in some way. Yeah, even if they're small. I've seen some Sagittarius, they're very small, very petite people. But them have a huge, yeah, there's something in their personality, in their energy, in the way they, even their taste of things can be huge, you know, broad. Or they're very well traveled. They travel all over the place. You see what I mean? So they're still reflecting that Sagittarian trait. You see what I'm saying? So it's not always going to be noticed through the body, you know, the body structuring. But it is representative of your part of your body too. Yeah, as I explained with all the other signs so far up to this one. So you're dealing with your hips and your thighs, you see? Now, when you come to Capricorn, you're dealing with the skeletal structure and you're dealing with your knees, you see? Because you need flexibility, yeah, for climb high. You understand? You need flexibility in them joints, in them knees to walk with ease and no pain. See it? Yeah? So therefore, your thoughts and your thinking need to be flexible. Can't be too rigid. See? Can't be too rigid, because if you get too rigid, you get too brittle and then you smash up. Or you get stiff and you can't bend. You can't, yeah. Then you start having knee problem and all different type of thing because you have stiff, rigid ego thoughts. You know, I told you that the moon represents the human ego, or your personality is where your sense of security comes from. Yeah. Through the habitual things you do, you know, your sense of who you believe you are to give you a sense of security. All right. That's where you will tap into that. But you see, the thing is that it's like somebody call you by your name. You know your name. You identify with your name. Hey, so you respond to it. That is the sense of identity that the moon gives you. But the moon is also where you find your sense of security through what you're doing, in a sense of repeatedly, and then what you're seeing reflected back to you. Oh, that makes you, through your repetition of the habits, it's also your habits too. It's your habits, where the moon is. Yeah, where the moon is also your habits. But anyway, the point I'm making here is that, you know, Capricorn represents the knees and the skeletal structure. You see what I mean? And then you're dealing with Aquarius. See it? And Aquarius represents your energy body, your light activation energy body. Yeah, it represents the lymphatic systems and your shins and ankles. Yeah, so all of this is inside of you. You understand? And then Pisces represents your feet. Yeah, because Pisces represents spiritual knowledge and understanding, which is they say is in this understanding inside the thing. But the thing is that it's your feet that carry you through life. That's why Pisces represents your feet, because it's spiritual knowledge and inner standing that carries you through life. It's not going to be all this flipping worldly academic type of thing. Yeah? No. That you're going to crash and burn with them thing there, because it doesn't teach you the inner reality of yourself. It's just teaching you how to compete in a competitive world ruled by, you know, the ego-driven personalities of everybody. Yeah, I got to drive for my needs, only your needs, at the expense of everybody else's needs. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's always needy. You know what I mean? But we're chatting about what carries you through life. What carries you through the rest of your life after you reach your Saturn return, the first Saturn return at 28, between 28 and 30. It's spiritual knowledge, y'all. And if you don't have spiritual knowledge of self, yeah, spiritual knowledge of self to know about your source. See, a lot of this talk about what you think is yourself and going back into history and stuff. These are things where souls who have come back and still caught up in the human confinement and still limited by the fetters, what's holding back their soul. They're still they're still repeating the same stuff that they did before, thinking in the same ways. Yeah. They don't realize what them come back here for. So, to liberate their souls. Yeah. That's the true thing. It's about soul liberation. Yeah. So Pisces represents the feet, see? Because it carries you through life, the rest of your life. It carries you through life. That's why you need to stand firm. What makes you stand firm is the spiritual knowledge and wisdom you end up growing, and expanding within yourself, of yourself. You see? That now keeps you upright. That now carries you through your life. See? Throughout the rest of your days while you're sojourning here. So this is when you, and Pisces represents the source, okay? The absolute truth. Whereas all the other signs that came out of Pisces represents aspects of truth, which is why you can't say, oh, my truth is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because you're dealing with aspects of those truths, of the whole truth. And everyone's coming from a different aspect of what they feel is true. Okay? But it's only when those aspects come together where you can see the full picture. And then you can and that's when everything returns back into Pisces, where you realize, back into the boundless ocean, okay, of consciousness. Now you can say, oh, now I'm realizing the whole truth, because you're returning back to source again. You see what I mean? So that's the journey of your body. I just took you round the signs, astrologically. All right? Astrology is the thing, is the key in here. Yeah? Some people, I look upon this thing too intellectual out there, so. And it's like, no, man, this is something to help you realize yourself. And the reason why it's symbolic, rich in symbolic language, is because that language is what is more encoded with your soul's awareness, your soul consciousness, soul knowledge. You know, this ain't no academic business. You know, this ain't no flipping, you know, my gosh, man. You know, symbols are a deeper level of communication and also contains a whole gamut of knowledge. You know, a whole library can be written in a symbol. You know what I mean? A whole library, man. You see? A symbol brings up a whole heap of ideas associated and concepts associated with that symbol. That's what I mean. And you should get what I mean when I say that, right? So this astrologist star, it's a serious thing. Soul astrology, to know yourself and understand your uniqueness, and how, therefore, we see when you understand your uniqueness better, you will know how you complement folk or understand others. But you see a thing as well, you have to be true to yourself. For example, with myself, I am come here to say things that's going to shatter people's limited belief systems, because, you know, and I had been persecuted and suffered persecution in previous incarnations. So when I start to say some things to some folk, you're going to get people who like, but what you say? Yeah, you want to chat? Yeah, you want to start persecute the eye. You know, you want to say this and chat whatnot because, you know, you don't want me to be myself. You want to be yourself, but you don't want me to be myself. And because my thoughts and what I would say will go beyond the limitedness of what you may be believing and thinking, then you start to see the ridicule shit come on. But you see, when that starts coming out, that persecution and judgment and criticism, I experienced that in previous incarnation. That's why my Virgo, I got Virgo in the 9th house that rules Sagittarius, and that happens to be my rising sign. And then you got Uranus and Pluto in there, which is liberation and transmutation. All right? So I'm here to break through all of these limited belief systems and stuff. Okay? And I'm here to be true to myself, because Aquarius is about integrity. It's about individuality, uniqueness, being free, the freedom to express the uniqueness and individuality of your soul, not to conform to groups which are could also be holding on to old ass beliefs that become rigid and stale, yeah, limiting. You can't broke out of it, and they're still repeating the same old stuff. Hence Saturn, you see, and Saturn represents karma, represents your lessons. So this is where people are limiting in themselves, wherever they got Saturn in their chart. This is what they need to understand has become crystallized. And then you look where Uranus is to see, oh, so where you liberate now and shatter this structure. You see what I'm saying? That has become limiting. So these are beliefs. So I'm here to what? Shatter, fracture, you know, various limited beliefs, yo. And some folk ain't go like it. So they're going to try to what? They're going to try to what? persecute and ridicule. But these pains that would be felt would be about me remembering what it felt like to reject my individuality, being true to myself. And in this day and time, I'm not here for that. I'm here to embrace and love my individuality, be myself, yeah, regardless of whomever don't like it. See? Because it's about self-loving, yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I know my thing, and you can see this stuff with other people and everything too. But listen, I'm going to have to wrap it up because we got our other presenter in the show, Carl X. And yes, so this show was quite different this evening because it's astrology, I said. And I just going to have to quickly add this thing in here about the Scorpio Venus retrograde. Okay? Enough focus being having their stuff come up through this. All right? Because Scorpio's dealing with abandonment, dealing with loss, dealing with betrayal. Okay? So the feelings of value, self-love and worth and value going through, retrograding through Scorpio is going to bring up a lot of these inner stuff. A reviewing, right, of one's own self. And also it's going to bring up these fears of abandonment and trust issues, betrayal, you know what I mean, and loss. You see what I'm saying? So as it's gone through these things, as Venus is retrograded through that, it's brought up a lot of these issues and interactions. Now that Venus is going to go direct. All right, put it this way. While it was going retrograde, it was bringing up all the dirt, bringing up all that stuff, you know, that needs to be cleansed. But you have to see it first. It has to come up to your conscious awareness first. Yeah. And now that it's come up to your conscious awareness as Venus went retrograde, now that it's going direct, it's now let's now deal with the clearing and the washing off and purging all that, the dirt that has come up. Yeah. So this is where you're going to see things breaking away. You're going to see people's interactions that may have come back from the past in order to bring up and deal with certain things, bring up these issues that you thought were gone, you know, which is going to bring up themes of abandonment, loss as well, and betrayal, because Scorpio's got to deal with this trust stuff. Yeah. And Scorpio always wants to know why and how. Hence why Scorpios end up becoming very good forensic scientists. You know what I mean? If you got Mercury in Scorpio, you want to penetrate and see, well, how and why, which is good. You know, that's a great thing, you know, because Scorpio deals with the mystery of life, death, rebirth, because it's about the path of awakening to soul consciousness. Yeah. So now that we got Venus moving direct, it's going to bring up and wash out these things. So you're going to see people splitting up. You're going to see things like, nah, man, frig all of this, brock it down. Yeah. Things are going to, what needs to be let go of, have to get let go of in order for you to move forward with a clearer sense of your self-love, worth, and value. But it has to bring up your crap first. Yeah. And you got to be real with that shit. If not, well, Jupiter's going to amplify some stuff as it moves into Sagittarius that you ain't dealt with, okay? And you wouldn't really want that, yeah? But that's how it is with some folk, because Jupiter's just come out of Scorpio, yeah? Bringing up all of what's been hidden within and all of that type of stuff in order for you to gain the wisdom from it and purge it and all of that, see? So now it's moved into its home sign, Sagittarius, see? So anyway, you know, so these are the things people are experiencing coming up in an intense way, yeah? You know, fight and, you know what I mean, you know, power struggles and all them sitting there, right? And some folk coming in to brock up your paradigm if you're dealing with some limited beliefs and what's not. But anyway, all of it is for goodness. All of it is greatness. All of it's for liberation of your soul from the fetters, you know what I mean, of the, yeah, egoic mind control. But you have to make your personality work in harmony with your soul's intention, see, rather than keeping the ego personality running the show. So, on that now, I'm going to, yes, call it a night. Yep. And brother Carlex, brother, you want to give a shout out to the people them?
Yes, we're there.
If there's a set up things, yeah. So what I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna play my outro and prepare. And yes, as my brother prepares for his show. So, to one and all, yes, this has been a complete talk. It's astrology all the way. And the way I've broken it down, because I really want you to realize this is all within you. This is all inside of you, y'all. All in you. And this is why it's about get to know thyself. And yeah, you're going to have people break down astrology a bit different and give different meanings and stuff, but I'm dealing with soul astrology. And this is really what astrology was initially really for, to help you stay in tune with who you are while you're sojourning through the human illusion and condition, yeah, and as you enter into the valley of tears as you incarnate here. But in this day and time is very different to any other. You have the opportunity to wake up in this lifetime rather than having to keep coming back on reels, reruns. Yeah, and I saw. But who choose what them want choose is what them choose. See? So you must realize you have choice. So therefore choose wisely. And on that note, I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you with, yes, my outro and intro. And yes, I will be back again on next Tuesday strong. And yeah, I think I'm going to go more into this type of stuff because I do astrology. I'm a spiritual consultant coach, and it's, dealing with the soul astrology is dealing with aligning people, making them become more aware of their soul purpose, their soul intention. You see, a lot of people are suffering because they don't see how they're creating their stuff because they're not in alignment with themselves. All right. And they're repeating old stories and programs because they are, they're not realizing when them coming here for work out and clear up. But the moment you can become conscious of what you're here to work out, clear up, then your personality don't have to become the enslaver of your soul. Okay. It can now become the creative tool for your soul. It now surrenders itself to work and serve the soul, the master within, because it's you, yeah, your soul, the I, the divine I within, the eternal I that is chose to come back in here because of the desires. See, it's Pluto bring you back in here, So all those youths with Pluto and Scorpio, yeah, I'm gonna talk about certain things and to assist on another show. So yeah, in saying that, let's rest, and I wish you all the best and a good evening. Okay.
Bless FM radio, playing good.
Campro Entertainment presents Melissa's DJ Cameo's birthday celebration, a dinner show and dance Saturday 1st of December 2018 at Bojangles Bar, 1 Old Church Road, Chingford, London E4 6SJ. Tickets are £35 for dinner, show and dance, £15 for show and dance or more at the door. Dress code is strictly black tie and evening gown. Theme colour is black, silver and gold. Entertainment is provided by D-Mac, DJ Cameo, Senator Blessed B, Colin Brown and MC Midnight, with live PAs from Dennis Bovell, Audrey Scott, Mandy and special guests. Doors open from 7:30 sharp and dinner is served between 8 and 10 p.m. The live show is at 10 till 11 p.m. and we party till 4 a.m. For tickets and more info, please call Campro Entertainment on 07984 356 341. Online at Eventbrite or Blacknet. Also from James the Shoe Care, Body Music, Hawkeye Records. See you there.
This is called the cancer bush.
Oh, I've heard of this. The cancer bush.
It is from nature that diseases arise, and from nature comes the cure. Dr. Paracelsus. Cancer bush, the hidden herb that supports and treats cancer patients, is brought to you by Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies. Cancer bush is the miracle herb and can also treat these following conditions: cancer, chronic fatigue, depression, diabetes type 2, piles, hot flushes, gonorrhea, syphilis, hemorrhoids, chlamydia, rheumatoid arthritis, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, mental stress, lupus influenza, swine flu, and more. To find out more, and if you or a loved one are suffering from the following conditions, please head over to our website on www.cancerbush.org.uk. If you'd like to email us, please email at info@cancerbush.org.uk. You can also call us on 0208 993 487.
No cigarette smoking in my room. I still want Marley. Bless FM radio, play good tune.
When I say upliftment, you say Carlex. When I say representing for the people, you say Carlex. When I say entrepreneur, you say Carlex. When I say the body's disc jack, you say Carlex. Hear me as a man, the body selector of the world right now. Hear me as a Carlex, lock it now, or the governor straight from yard to abroad, to Ghana, to yard. Hear me as a man representing, lock it now.
Ashanti warriors, breaking the chains of oppression. Yeah, me as a big up to the Black Star, you don't know Ghana. Yes, you don't know Africa. Repatriation is a must. Alright, now this is Renegade, you tune in to me hydrant Carlex. Seeing and the Africa awaits us program. You see it, so you don't know. Kick it!
Angela Davis, Marcus Garvey, Garrett Morgan, Muhammad Ali, Mary Seacole, Nelson Mandela, Bishop Tutu, Martin Luther King, and Jesse Owens, Kojo Anani, King Selassie, Bob Marley, Mano Mataba, Steve Biko, Sigourney Juice, Sister Winnie Mandela.
Blessed, live brown, says so, bigging up all the national heroes there, and Shearers.
Rastafari! Yo! Blessed is the sound and the selector. We're willing to play them kind of music. Feeling the seeker on a mountain stand, trying to find the ocean. Our times in the city, in our time by the
No cigarette smoking in my room. Yeah. I Stephen Marley, Bless FM radio, play good.
Campro Entertainment presents Melissa's DJ Cameo's birthday celebration, a dinner show and dance Saturday 1st of December 2018 at Bojangles Bar, 1 Old Church Road, Chingford, London E4 6SJ. Tickets are £35 for dinner, show and dance, £15 for show and dance or more at the door. Dress code is strictly black tie and evening gown. Theme colour is black, silver and gold. Entertainment is provided by D-Mac, DJ Cameo, Senator Blessed B, Colin Brown and MC Midnight, with live PAs from Dennis Bovell, Audrey Scott, Mandy and special guests. Doors open from 7:30 sharp and dinner is served between 8 and 10 p.m. The live show is at 10 till 11 p.m. and we party till 4 a.m. For tickets and more info, please call Campro Entertainment on 07984 356 341. Online at Eventbrite or Blacknet. Also from James the Shoe Care, Body Music, Hawkeye Records. See you there.
This is called the cancer bush.
Oh, I've heard of this. The cancer bush.
It is from nature that diseases arise, and from nature comes the cure. Dr. Paracelsus. Cancer bush, the hidden herb that supports and treats cancer patients, is brought to you by Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies. Cancer bush is the miracle herb and can also treat these following conditions: cancer, chronic fatigue, depression, diabetes type 2, piles, hot flushes, gonorrhea, syphilis, hemorrhoids, chlamydia, rheumatoid arthritis, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, mental stress, lupus influenza, swine flu, and more. To find out more, and if you or a loved one are suffering from the following conditions, please head over to our website on www.cancerbush.org.uk. If you'd like to email us, please email at info@cancerbush.org.uk. You can also call us on 0208 993 4870. That's 0208 993 4870. Or 07943 144 544. That's 07943 144 544. Cancer bush, the miracle herb.
African people, if we would like to own our own schools, our own businesses, our own community development and skill centres, our own banqueting suites, police our own communities and stop knife and gun crimes, give £1 or more per week to the Bade Fund. Please give generously today and remember our children and grandchildren's future is our responsibility. The Bade Fund, our future is our business. To contribute to the Bade Fund, go to www.baedfund.co.uk. So that's www.baedfund.co.uk. Click on Donate Now, where you will find the details, or click on the PayPal section in the header box. The Bade Fund, the Bade Fund, the Bade Fund, the Bade
Rastataya, Rastataya, Rastataya. This is the Shaka from station to tell the generation and the nations. Rastafari. Education is the key. All youth strive for development. Rastafari. Love is the key. You can give them that. Give them that message from me.
Them a wonder how blessed radio do this. I see them come with tumble. Future prophet tell them we locks get longer. Eden heart it on it. Blessed radio, you don't know. Put the good music. Play that.
Bless FM no cigarette smoking in my room. Yeah. I Stephen Marley. Bless FM radio, play good tune.
There's one thing every Jamaican know about a good arson. The whole of we used to get some dirty lick. Who remember when them used to lick? What? You see that? Who remember when them